everyone, and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, Marlowe Stanfield makes a move against Avon Barksdale as one of the game's newest civs takes on one of the game's oldest, with Capoch playing as the Georgians in red, marshalling his forces against MbL, playing as the Celts in blue. Now, all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Why don't we take a look at the civ matchup that we'll be watching today? Now, the Georgians, a cavalry-centric civilization with some pretty powerful economic features. To start with, all Georgian mounted units automatically regenerate HP and can be upgraded to take up 15% less population space, both of which help them mass their unique unit, the Manaspa, a tanky cavalry unit whose attack actually increases when there are other Manaspas or Nightline units in the vicinity. Now, in addition, like the Tatars, very, very important for the Georgians to take this empty piece of land known as the High Ground, since all Georgian units and buildings take 40% less damage when they fight downhill compared to the usual 25%. And lastly, to help the Georgians build as big and powerful an army as possible, they do start the game, as we saw, with a free mule cart, but 50 less food. Their fortified churches increase the work rate of villagers within an 8-tile radius by 10%, and their economy can be much harder to raid because repairing structures does cost 25% less resources, and their defensive structures, including their town centers, can be upgraded to get a +2 attack boost, and their towers can be upgraded to deal pass-through damage. Think Scorpion, think Chakram Thrower, similar to that, as Capoch here pulls his first wild boar. Let's see. Sheep finishes. Great timing. The boar falls perfectly, and that is our signal to pivot our eye, not our mind's eye, our eye, to our Celt in the east, a civilization built around the need for speed. Celtic lumberjacks work faster, which is great because the Celts need lots and lots of wood for their primary focus, which is siege. Celtic siege workshops work 20% faster, their siege units fire 25% faster, and all siege workshop units can be upgraded to get 40% more HP. Now, coming back to the need for speed, Celtic infantry does move faster than normal starting in Feudal Age. Their castles and towers can be upgraded to attack faster, and their unique unit, the Woad Raider, is the second fastest infantry unit in the game. One that comes, by the way, with a pretty good amount of HP and a strong attack. Now, in order for the Celts to feed a big, hungry, growing populations, they can actually convert enemy herdables, even if those herdables are standing next to enemy units. Those are the two civilizations we have. The Celts, although not necessarily a cavalry civilization, still a civilization that is pretty light on their feet. Let's take a look at the map real quick, because I'm noticing there's on the minimap, there's a lot of low ground, I should say flat ground, which may not be beneficial to our Georgian, who seems to be having, man oh man, trouble pulling these frickin' deer. I don't know if the latest patch changed something about these huntables, but especially the deer. I haven't seen this with the ibex, for example, or the gazelles, but man, do the deer have a mind of their own. In any event, as another wild boar gets pulled here, both villagers 16 apiece. Both players 16 villagers apiece. Let's take a look at their bases. Nice backwards gold for our Georgian, who is already mining it. Primary stone on the wrong side of a hill outside of the settlement area. We'll see if he decides to incorporate this hill into any kind of wall-off. Will our red Georgian. I love the placement of the forests, by the way. A nice triangle shape makes it easy to wall off to the north, easy to wall off to the forward position, and the south. Not the easiest of wall-offs, but not the worst of wall-offs either. And there's plenty of small forests all the way around here, which makes this possibly a labyrinth of wall-offs for our Georgian, who is housed, who is getting loom, and I do not see the next age being researched behind this, which means that potentially our Georgian in 4 seconds is going to be in a bit of trouble unless he can force drop a bit more food. Yeah, he does. So idle time for him, just 3 seconds to the 1 second of our Celt. Where are his additional resources? A little bit of gold to the back, a little bit of gold off campus, and a little bit of stone. So in a bit of a triangle shaped up to the top right, and bottom left. In a bit, they've very interesting, actually. All the resources making a nice clean line for us. Very visually appealing. Let's take a look at MbL's base as he too now begins gathering the 500 food he needs to go up to Feudal, and clicks up about a minute behind his opponent, maybe 45 seconds or so. But off the back of 2 extra villagers explains that time difference. Also, decent forests, although whereas Capoch has 1, 2, 3 small forests, MbL has 1 small forest and one kind of medium-sized forest here. This might be annoying. I don't think this is thick enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, never mind. This is 5 trees thick, which means that even an archer with a +1 attack and range might have a bit of issue. Primary gold, very much in the forward position. Yikes. Primary stone, nice and secure to the back. Walling this area off. I mean, thankfully, he's got this little V-shaped forest here, which makes it also a bit interesting to wall off, but not terrible. The south, though, completely open unless he decides to wall it off vertically here, maybe diagonally over here. Additional gold to the back, additional gold to the front, and additional stone in the front, also unknowingly placed on the downward slope of a hill. I guess it could be upward slope, depending on if you're coming in from the left or the right. In any event, both players, right as I'm going to finish this sentence, as I drag it out as slow and lethargically as I possibly can, are going to hit Feudal Age. We know Capoch has seen his opponent's base. What has MbL seen? Looks like he's pivoted to the south. Oh, that is very sour. He reached a critical point here on the western shores of the map, or western side of the map. He had a choice. He picked south. He picked wrong. Now he sees a fort pile of stone. Should know he's in generally the right vicinity. That being said, the fact that he's scouting in early Feudal Age, remember the scout line of sight, their attack, their speed, they all jump once you hit Feudal Age. So it is better to scout with this unit in Feudal. I mean, it's always better to find your opponent as fast as possible. And he still hasn't found him, by the way. He will in a hot second here. Okay, now MbL discovers. But not the end of the world if you don't discover where your opponent is in the immediate opening minutes of the game, because again, the scout's line of sight does improve, the speed improves, all of the metrics kind of get better, which means it will be a little bit easier for you. So never get too dejected, never get too upset that you are behind in the scouting. Maybe a villager idled. Might want to fix that, but any event, 12 minutes into the game, both players have discovered each other, and now this scout's definitely going to see the archers moving forward. Let's see what MbL prepares back home to defend against this. He's already got 3 skirmishers in the production queue, 2 already out, 1 more being trained. And it looks like our Georgian is creating a very interesting, very small, very interesting wall off. Why is he doing this? Okay, because he hasn't scouted the southern part of his base, so he doesn't know that he has a lot of options here on how to wall this in, and instead is choosing to create himself a little nook where his gold at least is going to be pretty well defended. Still no kills apiece as the players just kind of circle around. It's funny that Capoch has scouted more of MbL's rear position than he has of his own base. And so we'll see how he decides to play this. For now, this is also not really fully walled in. So he's creating funnels, is our Georgian. He doesn't expect the Celt to attack into him, which so far is a pretty reasonable thing to assume. And even though MbL went up to Feudal 2 villagers ahead of his opponent, he is now down 1 villager. He is getting wheelbarrow as well. Pretty early on, off the back of only 28 villagers. And we'll see what he decides to do. Capoch taking a very, very wide approach here with his archer units. Did he not see the scout that discovered them earlier? Was he trying to keep them here as a surprise? But it looks like we're about to have our first scuffle of the game. Okay, maybe not. I could literally say, oh my goodness, you guys know my spiel. I could literally say 1 + 1 is 2, and Capoch would find a way to make it 3. By the way, there's a lot of different types of trees. What do we got? Dead tree, pine tree, dead pine tree. What's the difference between a pine forest and a pine? Oh no, they both say pine forest. Anyway, that's for all you tree enthusiasts out there. All 2.5 of you probably. But 15 minutes into the game, still no kills. The players circling each other. Have any of these units even taken any HP damage? Okay, there we go. Right as I say it, some spearmen lose 5 whole HP. Your scout also completely hale, completely healthy. Uh-oh. This might be the first kill of the game if Capoch notices. Where's he going? Is he going for the high ground here? No, he is not. Hello? Archer units. They do notice there's a spearman. Spearman's not going to accomplish very much here. That was an absolute missed opportunity here. MbL opening up the path here to the top. But now he's brought a few more skirmishers. And finally, at the 16.5-minute mark of the game, it is our Celt who draws first blood. But the archers are on the high ground. They do pick off a chasing spearman, which means an eye for an eye, but a gold eye for a wood food eye is not exactly identical, as now the siege of the Georgian base begins with a whole bunch of skirmishers here. This scout still to the south. This scout thinks he can get a villager here. Let's see if he's right or wrong. It looks like he might be right. One more whack. One more whack. He does get it now. You need to get the hell out. Or no, never mind. He's going after the skirmisher. This is a ballsy scout. Does take the skirmisher down to half of his HP, but now he's got to get the hell out of here. He's going to see that there's a spearman hot on his tail. One poke, and that's all it takes. Oh, it's like Portnoy's pizza reviews. One bite, everyone knows the rule. One poke from a spearman to the horse's ass when you're down to your last 15 or so HP is certain death. Everyone knows that rule. Villager takes on a wolf, even though she's not a Magyar, and therefore needs a few more what? Swipes, or what the hell is it called? Thrusts of the cutlass. Okay, so the explanation for why we're 19 minutes into the game and barely any kills is both players are rushing up to Castle Age, which hopefully makes for some more exciting battles compared to what we're seeing now. Oh, is he gonna make it? Oh, why did he put that house there? It looks like he was very close to letting these skirmishers in. And now this is going to be very annoying because these skirmishers are not going to kill the villagers, but they're going to annoy the hell out of them. They're going to kick in, force the fight or flight mechanic of the villager to kick in. And that villager is definitely going to flight, otherwise known as flee, as this scout now chases these skirmishers as a scout penetrates the base, realizes that, hey, this isn't exactly walled off either. We'll see if MbL decides to make use of that knowledge now that he knows. Ooh, spearman, one more poke. Why did he move? Why were you on move command? Could have easily poked that scout to death. And now we've got scuffles erupting all over the map. Red is not noticing that his archers are under attack, maybe because he's microing a knight over here to kill as many skirmishers as possible, but two spearmen join in. Doesn't really care. He is gonna double team this last guy over here. He's one knight, needs to be very careful. 27 HP will survive the skirmishers, but well, I was gonna say, but maybe there's a follow-up, but yeah, there is a follow-up of 3 spearmen. Looks like red has been cleared up over here. A quivers melting into the grasslands shows us that a few units there died. Archer, 0 kills, being as annoying as freaking possible. Where's the weak knight? Did he send him back? Did he die? Oh, he's up here. Capoch has to be careful here. He discovers that his base isn't walled in. Even with the high ground, which I don't think this knight has, it's still a tough battle against spearmen. They do still come with an attack. Oh my goodness. They do still come with an attack bonus against mounted units. Not quite as good as the A22. Oh my god, and this is also not walled in. What is happening with Age of Empires? The absolute insanity of these two bases. I don't think this is walled in either. I don't see a palisade when I highlight the structures. So this is still open. This at least has been plugged with this one villager who's standing behind the house. How the hell would you even know to look here? But I guess red just right-clicked anywhere into MbL's base, and then just immediately the computer pathing found the best location. I guess in that respect, pathing in this game is pretty good. In every other respect, pathing is probably quite possibly the worst thing that still is still needs to be fixed in this game. 2 pikemen are chasing. I don't know that you necessarily want to leave just 2 pikemen. Okay, these 2 knights staring forlornly into the abyss, so that the abyss stares back, and that is where they will find their real character. Or maybe not, maybe just right-clicked and they're just kind of chilling there waiting for these pikemen to disappear. Not that they can see the pikemen. Not that the pikemen can see them either. But the siege of the Georgian base back in earnest. It looks like a spearman did die, but now forget the basic skirmishers. He's brought a couple of mangoes with him. Looks like the pikemen, looks like the knight have both gone their separate ways. A bit of a lover's spat. Ooh, red has to be so careful. Literally stubbing this guy's toe is going to hurt him now. He is Georgian. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, 5 HP becomes 6 HP. Will become ... 7 HP. 10 HP per minute. Regeneration in Castle Age goes up to 15 HP per minute regeneration for their cavalry units in Imperial, which doesn't sound like a lot, but believe me, if you have 30, 40 Manaspas that are injured after taking a battle, regenerating 15 HP per minute on 40 Manaspas is 600 extra HP. And what the hell is this? Where are you going? Where the hell do you think you're going? What the hell was that? Yet another Age of Empires suicidal unit that just wants to jump off the flat earth into the abyss. We've seen that so much. Is it me, or did the latest patch just make a bunch of glitches a lot more noticeable? I don't know if these glitches existed before and I just didn't notice them, but definitely I'm noticing them now. If you haven't seen the short I put out of the appearing and disappearing and reappearing units, definitely check that out. Now we've got units that are still trying to run over the edge of the world, Captain Jack Sparrow style. Here we go. A couple of monks dare poke their heads out. One dies, two die. A third. Oh, he's gonna die as well. No, he doesn't. Runs away. The attacks not perfect, which means that monk survives, goes into the town center, pops his head back out. He still has 16 HP. He can still take a mangonel hit. Will he? Will he? Will he? No. Okay, now he must. Okay, he does. But all of this fancy maneuvering just means that Blue is getting a lot of shots off at this monk, who now brought a friend, and the friend is busy walking when he should be healing. Another town center. Let's take a look at the actual economies of the players. Our Georgian ahead, 22 villagers. His economy is literally 40% bigger. Literally 40% bigger than our Celtic economy. But our Celtic army is literally 800% bigger now, 600% bigger than his opponent. 2 conversions. Fantastic get there by our Georgian, who somehow is holding on to this, and that somehow is monks. 6 monks. 2 of them have full faith. 1, 2, 3 town centers for our Celt. 1, 2, 3 town centers for our Georgian. And remember, well-placed fortified churches absolutely essential for the Georgians. These gold miners up here are working 10, I always say 20, 10% faster. These gold mines, these farmers, the work rate increases by 10% within an 8-tile radius. So this line you're seeing here, I believe, is the 6-tile attack radius. Add 2 more tiles, so somewhere here. The monks come in again. They have to be very careful. A few shots of the onagers will wreck them, but the onagers, or the mangonels rather, have to be careful as well. We have a bit of a situation developing here. The monks are converting uphill or downhill, doesn't really matter for them. The mangonels move in, some pikemen move in as well to defend. No theocracy means that these monks, if they all convert one mangonel, are all going to lose their faith. 1 mangonel, 2 mangonels get converted. 2 monks, though, are dead. 3 monks are dead, but a whole bunch of pikemen are dead as well. Who got the better trade there? 2 mangonels for blue. Or never mind. 4 mangonels for blue, all dead. Plus a bunch of pikemen that those mangonel attacked. But how many monks died for that? 3 or 4? It looks like 3. So 3 monks for 4 mangonels and a few pikes is a job well done for our Georgian. Great use of the monks there. As he is now mining, he's going to see that this Celtic monk is taking a weird path to get back. Where's his monastery? Oh, never mind. The monastery's up here. Look at the sniper lines. Oh my goodness, he might. Oh, he doesn't. I said he might get 1 or 2 shots off before getting converted, but no. And the light cav, i.e. scout cav, is here. Oh no, he's doing the worst possible thing he can, which is engaging into a knight. Redemption to help with the mangonels means that he can convert these houses as well, increase a little bit of that Georgian population space. Not that he really needs it, still has 15 or so, 20 population space, although I guess without this would have 9 population space. And our Celt is unrelenting. He's still here, still has his 5 rather OG skirmishers who have racked up 7 kills. Not something you see every day at the 33-minute mark of the game. An anachronistic unit that somehow has gotten a very efficient kill count. Both players choosing to place their eyeballs atop this hill. Red is definitely going to see this castle once it starts going up. And where is Red's response? Oh, he's responding over here. He wants to protect the stone. Protect the stone. Use it to build more castles. Knights and light cav. What the hell happened here? Why did he delete this castle? He deleted the castle, which means he did lose a bit of stone. But does he care? He's got 18 villagers. 14 of them busy building this castle. Georgian castle is up. It looks like these pikemen are all going to die, but we'll see how many units they take with them. I mean, the Celtic siege here is non-stop from for the last 20 or so minutes. He has just been riding our Georgian, face hugging him like the bug from Alien. I should say the face hugger from Alien. I feel like they could have come up with a more creative name for an alien that hugs your face than the face hugger. I don't know if it has a technical name like the xenomorph and etc., but in any event, that is exactly what our Celt is doing here with his big fat castle right in the face. But our Georgian is just pivoting southwest and a little bit south, and now he's an Imperial. Got a Treb out. Of course he has. He's got 2 Trebs. Where is the second? Oh, it's from this castle up here. So our Celt, who just now clicks up to Imperial, may possibly lose this castle. The question is, how much stone does MbL want to invest in repairing this? I guess the answer is absolutely 0 as he abandons ship. One Woad Raider left alone inside here to die. We'll see where that guy pops out. Okay, emergency retreat castle being built here. Another town center next to the gold for our Celt. But this castle, the Treb to the north, the Treb to the south, are enough to shoo him away. The Celt, one more volley. No, he ungarrisons his villagers at the worst time, but the Manaspa's here. The Manaspa's here for a second, and then he runs away. Hello? There you go. That's all you needed. Just a 1 poke. Everyone knows the rules. Converted Manaspas. We've got a Celtic Manaspas. Now, remember the cool thing about this unit, its attack increases. So right now, Capoch has forging, which means on any other civilization, except maybe the Lithuanians with relics, this would add a +1 attack. But because there's how many Manaspas, how many knights? 11 of them. That means that he gets a +2 on top of the +1, which means the Manaspas should be at a +3. There they are, 12 +3. Now the problem for him is if he loses even one of these units, that drops down to a 12 +2, and he is chasing into pikemen. So he is definitely going to lose. Okay, maybe not. Definitely going to lose some HP. Okay, now they die. And now the other Manaspas are running south. So Capoch is going to lose not only the attack bonus against that applies to all of his Manaspas, he's also going to lose the Manaspas and then lose this territory of gold where our Celt is plopping down yet another town center. Of all things to put down in the forward position, he does not want to leave. MbL is trying to make himself as comfortable as home as possible. Putting his feet up, opening your fridge, grabbing a beer that you saved for yourself after a hard day of work, microwaving that Delicioso pizza, and basically saying, squatters' rights. I am not going anywhere. Is he training villagers out of here? Not yet. By the way, there's another relic right here that our Celt is going to get. So he's going to have 4 relics in a second as these Manaspas engage into the worst possible unit they can. Oh no. Our Georgian is routed. And now the halberdiers are going to absolutely demolish these trebuchets. That is a 1200 resource flush down the toilet as these 3 trebs fall. And we've got 41 halberdiers on the field. They are chasing the treb. I don't think they're going to get it before the castle gets them. Nope, they do not. The Manaspas. I'm trying to click on them, so of course I click the farm. There are 9, which means there should be a +1 attack. Yeah, he needs iron casting. Our Georgian, if he's going to go melee, and it looks like he is going melee, except for some hand cannoneers, which don't really get attack upgrades. Unless I guess you're the Burgundians. He's got to go attack upgrades on these guys. Synchronized poking. Glad we caught that on camera, as brief as it was. Another archery range going up. Hand cannoneers are going to be able to shoot away these halberdiers, and blue is getting out a Treb of his own. Yeah, our Georgian needs to come up with a solution to these halberdiers. 49 Celtic halberdiers. Remember, they move 15% faster than normal. So instead of 1 tile a second, they move 1.15 tiles a second. Capoch is very confident in this army's ability to hold this hill. And I don't know that that's going to work out for him. Okay. The halberdiers surround the Trebs. I don't think the Trebs can even move at this point. Oh, no. 1 down, 2 down, 800 more resources. No, maybe not. 800 more resources down the shitter. So 2,000 resources in dead Trebs so far, as the hand cannoneers clear up this very cocky lumber camp that he MbL built when he put up the castle here, expecting himself to stay here a little bit longer. Nuh-uh. Long distance gold mining, which these hand cannoneers are going to very much put a stop to in a minute. More and more archery ranges. You know what? Not terrible. Your opponent is going full on infantry. Ooh, but what kind of infantry is the question here? Woad Raiders, 1.38 tiles movement per second makes them pretty damn fast. Okay, a bit of a royal escort here for this one villager. Where are they going? Huh? What the hell was that? Oh man, Age of Empires, the kind of funny things you see with a 25, 30-year-old game. And our Georgian has to retreat yet again. He is supply blocked at 175. Our Celt has full 200 population space available, but he's going up to 190. As he continues chasing away units with these very, very ineffective halberdiers. I say ineffective because what's their attack? A 7? This guy's got 1 melee armor and 300 HP. So 50 halberdiers pokes needed. Elite Woad Raider. How many Woad Raiders? Oh, he's going up to 23 Woad Raiders. Let's see it. We've seen Woad Raiders absolutely shred. It is one of the most underrated. How do I put this? Everyone knows this unit is strong. It is a very, very strong unit, but like the Pol Obuch, I feel like it is somewhat underrated in its use in middle kind of game. Fully upgraded, it's an insane unit. And this one looks like it's en route to being fully upgraded in a very quick minute here. A minute and 30 away from having Blast Furnace. Why did these Woad Raiders attack the castle when they should have been attacking the hand cannoneers? But that's irrelevant. Look at how much damage they're getting done. But ultimately, they do get cleaned up and they have to retreat. What are you? Another moving unit wants to jump off the edge of the world. What the hell? What is going on in Age of Empires with these suicidal units? Look at him. He did not get the memo. You could stop marching. It's all good, man. You do not need to keep moving. Our Georgian with these hand cannoneers is going to present a very formidable front. I would love to see a few more Manaspas. For now, he is getting Blast Furnace. So the Manaspas, by the way, are going to be fully upgraded right now. And they attack on an 18. He needs to get the elite version, but I say that he's got 0 gold in the bank. Oh, if only you guys had Arquebus, you could actually reach these halberdiers instead of doing jack nothing to them. Now you can as they attack you head on. But the halberdiers were a feint. They were a trap designed to let these Woad Raiders close in and close in. They do 2 more Trebs bite the dust. The Woad Raider is just absolutely taking this Manaspa to Pound Town. Oh, he is on the low ground now, though. A few of them have peeled off to the north. The Manaspa's HP, by the way, is 95 to the Woad Raider's 85. So the HP difference is not that great. I refer to the Manaspa as tanky because look at the base armor. 6 melee, 6 pierce, which, by the way, gets a lot better once they're elite. I shouldn't say a lot better. It gets better when they're elite. But both players with fully upgraded versions of their unique unit, with the exception that the Manaspa is still a basic Manaspa, not an elite, and the numbers are not there. Woad Raiders have to be careful, though. As good as they are, as fast as they are, they should not be taking on hand cannoneers head on. But maybe if the Trebs are busy shelling your hand cannoneers. Looks like red wants to poke in here, but blue has created a nice wall off, except here it's completely open. If you want to take some castle fire, that is. And the last remaining red Treb. Oh, one ball misses, two balls. No, the two other balls are going for the hand cannoneer still. Oh, the Woads get it. What an absolute bloody back and forth. We've got two militias. Why does this happen? Someone tell me, do the players not have the hotkeys set up differently? Woads are going to, oh man, help stop this incursion, but incursion has already happened for, I mean, even more militias. I mean, an 8 attack militia should be pretty decent against a light cab. I mean, decent in that he's going to die, but maybe not die super quickly. How many Manaspas are there now on the field? There are 15 Manaspas, so red has made another transition. Bye-bye, mule cart. Say the trebuchets, but red managed to catch out a whole bunch of Celtic villagers here as he continues to raid the back of the base, continues to enter in with these light cab, but these light cab are not going to stand a chance compared to a fully upgraded elite Woad Raider. There's a reason the name Raider is in the title of that unit's name. As the players circle each other a little bit, 4 Celtic Trebs are moving forward. King of the Hill Castle might want to be careful. 4 Trebs could easily gun this castle down with 2 or 3 volleys, even with, okay, maybe not. He's brought a bunch more villagers. 23 villagers to build this. And here we go, this group of pike with that one suicidal halberdier are making a move in, and the Manaspas with the light cav are in. We'll see how long they last. What? Another teleporting unit. You guys saw that, right? He teleported from here to here. What is going on with Age of Empires? What do they do in the last patch to give Star Trek powers to these players? But here we go. Halberdiers closing to the north. Woad Raiders closing to the south. Woad Raiders are fighting uphill. As the Trebs continue to shell away, the Halberdiers need to move in south as well to help out. They are not. They are finally, some of them are. The Woad Raiders absolutely eviscerate that army. And the last Manaspas make a desperate attempt to get the Treb, which also, by the way, looks like it's uphill, and fail miserably. And look at the Georgians military count, 3-4 units only to the 78 of the Celt. All the raiding in the back of the Celt's base is over, and that was an absolute unmitigated disaster for our Georgian. And yeah, what the hell do you do after that? You've got the economy lead. I guess you're not really under attack by these guys. What did they do? They didn't really accomplish much over here. 8 kills. I feel like that's from before. But what an absolute disaster. Let's take a look at that last battle again. I need to see what was going on there. Why did those halberdiers... Okay, so before the battle is joined, what are we working with here? Let's get rid of the militia. Who cares about them? Let's get rid of the Trebs. Let's get rid of the villagers. So we've got 32 Georgian units to 48 Celts. The HP difference is staggering. About 70% more HP on these Celtic units. But our Georgian maintained the high ground. So let's see what happens here. Trebs are shelling away at the hand cannoneers. The Manaspas are luring the Woad Raiders. The Halberdiers move into the north to attack the villagers. Probably would have wanted the Halberdiers to the south and the Woad Raiders to the north, if I had to guess. Not that it made a difference here. The Woad Raiders absolutely making the Manaspa his bitch. Holy moly, what was that? That was just an absolute destruction on the part of our Celt, who then also manages to save all of his trebuchets. That was absolutely epic. And then that is just a psychologically damaging loss. I mean, again, our Georgian with the bigger economy, a huge economy lead, 30% bigger economy. And he's expanded here to the south. He's got map control for the most part. Does he know about these guys? No, he does not. Unless they were, let's see, I'm going to rewind a little bit. No, he doesn't know about them at all. They just kind of inserted themselves into this corner. And so even though he's under no immediate threat, our Georgian, there's literally nothing he can do at this point. He's got 143 gold. He's facing off against an army. By the way, the 24 Woad Raiders now is 27 Woad Raiders. He does not have the resources to go up to elite Manaspa, which I don't think he had. I don't think those were elite Manaspas. I think they were just basic Manaspas. Yeah, 18 attack instead of a 22. They did have the +6, which means they weren't fully upgraded. and didn't fully make use of that 21 plus Manaspa clump, because we saw there were fewer than 21 of them. But wow, what a cataclysmic last clash to end the game on. I love that Capoch took the high ground. I love that he did that. I love that the Manaspas baited the Woad Raiders into attacking them, but ultimately just the numbers weren't there. And he did have an opportunity. He did have a chance, because MbL, for reasons unknown, sent his halberdiers to the north to attack the villagers that were over here, instead of just encircling the Manaspas with his entire infantry force. And so that did give Capoch a chance. But again, this unit, this beautiful unit, which you wouldn't think, it's literally barefoot with no shirt, no armor, a wooden shield, and a big axe, and some Gangs of New York style pantaloons. You wouldn't expect it to be so crazy, but it is such a freaking powerful unit. And a lot of that, I suspect, comes from its movement speed. Its ability to close in on you means that these gunpowder units have one less volley to shoot at, or one less volley to shoot when they're engaging into such a quick unit, because the halberdier that moves basically a fifth of a tile slower, maybe a quarter of a tile slower, may take one extra volley from the hand cannoneer. I'm not too sure if the numbers work out there, but the speed, I think, it's like with the Saracen Mameluke. It's not the craziest unit on paper, but that attack speed is what it gets you, the power of the unit. I feel like the Woad Raider, the same thing, same logic, but in this case, it's the movement speed. Just the ability to close on the unit and attack on an 18. Again, its armor is not great. Basically camel rider armor with 0 and 1 base armor. But in any event, that was an absolute fantastic fun game there. Our Celt just made himself at home and would not leave. Like an uninvited guest, he just couldn't take his cue. You as the host are saying, you're starting to yawn. You know, you're looking at your spouse, and you're kind of looking at each other, making little eyes and raising eyebrows. Like, when's this guy gonna leave? Is he gonna leave ever? We're gonna have to offer him to sleep over? Or what's gonna happen with this guy? And he just made himself a little bit too comfortable, and ultimately sorry, I said ultimately twice in that one sentence, take over the Georgian settlement. Let's take a look at the stats. 82 hand cannoneers, 167 halberdiers. Wasn't expecting that. Okay. Peak APM for our Georgian right at the end where that big battle took place. Peak APM for our Celt a little bit earlier, about 10 minutes or 15 minutes ago. The economies can't be too different, right? Actually, no, never mind. Why are the economies surprisingly wood going to our Georgian, trash going to our Georgian, gold almost identical, stone basically identical, not even a castle's worth difference, but our Celt had 2,500 extra gold from the relics, which may have played a role. But man, oh man, are the economies similar, even though, I mean, let's take a look at the numbers, because something's weird here. Our Georgian economy is 30% bigger. He's got fortified churches that increase the work rate of all of these villagers by 10%. These farmers, the gold miners, we saw the lumberjacks. The rating looks like was pretty identical. Our Celt killed 64 villagers. Our Georgian killed 56. So it's not like our Celt killed 100 villagers somewhere, or our Georgian killed 100 villagers somewhere. The kill count is basically identical. Why the hell was the Georgian economy so comparable? Why is it only 3 or 4% bigger? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is literally a 3% bigger economy for somebody who had many more villagers and access to the fortified church work rate increase. Something happened. He was either moving those villagers around way too much, or maybe using large clumps of them to do this, repair and build castles, move from this resource. He was moving around a lot. He was being pushed off resources a lot. So there may have been a lot of idle time where these guys were just walking around and not gathering anything. But yeah, that seems a little strange to me, that the economies are so similar despite a much, much bigger Georgian economy. 18 conversions out of 337 army supply, about 5%, 4 or 5%. So not the end of the world. Conversions not really playing a role in this game. Let's take a look at the kill count. Wow, our Georgian with the defender's advantage, about 50 kills more than his opponent. Fewer villager kills, but at the end of the day, yeah, defender's advantage coming into play here. This castle, 18 kills. This castle, 3 kills. This town center has more kills than the castle. That's funny. Oh, do we dare click on the monasteries? The fortified churches? No, 0-0 apiece. But wow, our Celt just takes an absolute smashing engage here in the atop of this hill. And even though he was fighting from the low ground, even though his specialized cavalry killing unit, the halberdier, was nowhere to be found for the first 60-70% of that engagement, he ultimately does take the hill with the Woad Raider. And with the hill comes victory for our blue Celt, who takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.